Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live. Today we have a great show for Don't Quit Your Day Job. But I just want to get everybody in, get the party started. I want to make sure that you guys are comfortable because we have a great conversation coming up for us today. Um, actually, while we're waiting, I want you guys to tell me where y'all from and what are you expecting from this show today. So we're going to give it a few moments. But before we get started, I want to kind of tell y'all a little bit about my day. It's been a week. You know, the TSA travel has been crazy. And as you guys know, I travel for work. So with me traveling from work, I have to deal with all of the hot topics that you guys see maybe just on Instagram. I was in these streets. I got stuck in TSA for like 3 hours. The other day, missed my flight, had to come back the next day, made my flight, trip was successful. And then some personal things happened where I was already planning to be in DC and I had to actually just come to DC 2 days sooner to check on my mom, make sure everything was good. But we still have a show because business has to be done no matter. The show must go on. And today we have Rachel L. Gray. She's a leadership coach, author, motivational speaker, anything you need that pertains to quitting your day job, we're going to talk about today. I'm really excited for our conversation. I think we're going to get a lot of gems today during this show. So, without further ado, I will bring her to the stage. Hello, hello,
Hello there.
hello. How are
Hello, Miss
you?
Charity. How are you?
I am doing good. Welcome to Don't Quit
Absolutely.
Your Day Job. And before we get started, we're going to learn about you throughout this, but a theme that I love, I am a music connoisseur. I love music. I love samples. I love all things to get your body moving. What is your theme song?
Technically speaking, I have an actual theme song. The name of my epic series is called Epic Elevate Potential to Ignite Change. So one of my songs is called CEO of My Life. So I actually have a 4 song um, LP, so album called The Movement that is available. It can be streamed on any social media platform. I wrote all of the music that you actually hear. Performed a couple of them are
Oh,
performed by artists, Ejilla Beats from Chicago, and there'll be several other artists that'll be featured on that LP.
oh, that is great. You are truly multifaceted. So I know I kind of threw you right into the ringer with that one, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Yes, my name is Rachel L. Gary. I'm a leadership coach that specializes in helping individuals, remind individuals who they are and who they're destined to be, prepare them to be the CEOs of their lives. Who's the CEOs? That person that's clear in their actions, empowered by their choices, and own in their direction. To be the CEO of your life.
I love it. So what has created this inspiration for you to push others to be the CEO of their life? Like, what was your story prior to you feeling like you were the CEO of your life? Because we all have that journey before we get to that
Absolutely.
point.
Yeah, before we have that aha moment, that's what we talk about. So, for
Yes.
me, I've been in leadership for 20 plus years in a multifaceted of leadership roles. Starting off my journey unloading trucks by hand at $7 an hour. I was making below minimum. I was making minimum wage at the time, and my aha moment was on a cold front porch in January 2004, when I realized I was not leading my life was leading me. So at that point, I wrote down everything that I wanted out of life and started moving forward intentionally. I make intentional moves to move intentionally towards success. Within 14 months, I was promoted 4 times. So what I know that is possible, the word says I'm possible.
I love that. So for you, it took for you to just kind of wake up. Like my favorite saying, recipes rolling right, but like we gotta wake them up. Like really, like
Yeah.
it took you to kind of be enlightened by your own situation at the time, and you knew that wasn't what you saw in your life. And I think
Absolutely.
and I think honestly, like, this is the perfect conversation for Don't Quit Your Day Job, because the overall theme of this show is to highlight people that may right now still be working their 9 to 5 and pursuing their 5 to 9 while also doing both. But I also like to highlight the people that took that leap of faith and was able to just kind of take the bull by the horns and move forward with their perspective career path. So before you knew that you were able to motivate, were you motivating people in your inner circle before you took it to the main stage?
Oh, absolutely. I have been a natural leader ever since I can remember, when I was very young. So we're talking about 7, 8, 9. I've been working with helping individuals when they had a problem. They would come talk to me. Um, I I don't know. It's an old book series called Encyclopedia Brown, and
Mm,
I used to read that book, and I used to say that I want to be in my garage taking a nickel for what's going on for every time someone brings me a problem. But it would just be that people would like to talk to me, have
mhm,
conversations, because I'm a person who keeps people's secrets. I don't believe in putting people's business in the streets, and I never have been. So I was the
mhm.
one that was least messy, which meant that I was the person that people held the most
Trusted.
trust in. So they trusted
Mhm.
me. They felt they could that when I gave advice, my advice was based upon their lives and not mine. And I do that same thing in my coaching program. I create plans for individuals from their business through what their business needs without without forcing them to conform. Forcing them to expand.
I like that because the word force plays a big part. I think growing up, traditionally, society is like, you go to school, you go maybe to another school, then you start your career, you work there 25 years, 30 years, and then you, quote unquote, air quote, retire. And I think we're seeing now in 2026 that's not the case. And
No,
you're wanting people to be the CEO of their life. You're wanting people to expand and grow, but you're not forcing them. You're letting them see the light on their own and giving them
absolutely.
the road to that next path. And I think that's great because I'm a filmmaker outside of my 9 to 5 that I document on my YouTube. Currently, I also do film, and currently I'm not ready to jump out there. I think it's not a fear thing, it's just a security thing of knowing, all right, I know I'm gonna get paid every 2 weeks. The bills gonna get paid, air quote, and I'm gonna be able to just do what I gotta do, right? And I
Uh-huh.
think force is it stood out so much to me because I do have some filmmaker friends that jumped out there and they're doing great. And sometimes you'll have those conversations. There's like, you need to just do it once you're focusing on one thing to happen, but you gotta let people be ready. Like it's almost like
Exactly.
anything in life. You force somebody, they're gonna rebel, or you're gonna be guilty for pushing them to do it before it was their time. So, what are like some ways that you help to prepare them? I know you have your courses, but if you're willing to share, like, what are some of the key themes that you present to them to show them that they're ready?
So first, Charity, I want to talk about the 9 to 5, the 5 to 9. If you don't mind, if I start there, then I'll jump into the other
That's
piece.
fine. That's fine.
Um, I'm a firm believer in having a 9 to 5. Now, let me give you what my thoughts are about a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 should be your investor in your forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you are just going to work and for just the security, but you're not thinking of a plan on what's next or how to build your dream life, then you're going to work for the wrong reasons. Take
Right.
a minute. Take a minute on that. Let that sink in with you, because I don't want anyone putting in those comments later on. She said I don't. This is what I'm saying is that you need to treat the job as an investor in the future you. If you
Yeah.
are looking at that job as an investor, you're going to go there, give them 100%. You're going to go there and learn the techniques. You're going to go there and learn more, and you're going to take jobs that are in your field, so you are the expert at what you do. So when you move into that 5 to 9,
Mm-hmm.
you have the security, you have the knowledge, you have the steps to be able to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads into what I do when I talk to my mentees, and how I guide them through the journey of discovering them, because that's what I do. My book, hashtag Poverty to Six Figures, is premised upon building you, because you can't make any money, you can't grow if you're not in tune with you. So the book
That's
itself is all about developing the CEO as in you. And from the CEO in you, that's how your business expands. It's how your career expands. It's how your life elevates. So that's either a 9 to 5, 5 to 9, thinking about a 5 to 9, doing a 9 to 5 in school. I want us to speak a little bit to what Charity was saying about conformity, because that's what school systems are. School systems, work systems are conformity. However, conformity also gives you a level of discipline. So if you take from the school systems, the jobs, the discipline, and just put that discipline into your business, into your forever, into your freedom, then it
mm-hmm.
allows you to find the success that you're really looking for. So use
Growing
that
your
job
own
as an
product.
investor. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you have to grow you. You have to grow you.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. Like for me as a filmmaker, you can't make a movie with no money. So a lot of times with my any extra money that I have, I recently got my yearly bonus. I dropped a hefty amount into my film that I'm doing in April. So it's one of those things like I always know the master plan is film. All my coworkers know, hey, I love my job, but outside of this, I have another job that I'm pursuing. And that's why I moved to Atlanta in the first place. And what's funny is a lot of times I don't even promote my own self. I'll be at work just trying to do what I'm there to do because I work in healthcare. And my coworkers be like, you know, she write movies. You know, she a director. Her stuff is here. Her stuff is there. You can watch it. And for me, I love that because people have seen my passion over the years enough where the word of mouth is speaking for themselves because they've seen the proof in the product. They see how hard I work at work and outside of work. So I definitely agree. You have to work these jobs like they work in you. Get money, put it into yourself, and push forward regardless. Because at the end of the day, when they done with you, they done with you. And you only gonna have your own to build upon later down the line. And I think what I like about all of these things, when I was doing my research after, shout out to Lakita, after she brought you to my attention, I looked at everything that she presented. I'm like, wow, like this literally is the theme of don't quit your day job because it's playing on. It's literally like
Actually,
in the film business, we've seen those movies where you see somebody audition for something and they're not that good. And they're like, yeah, don't quit your day job. So I was watching something one day and I was like, oh, that would be low key cool because I haven't quit my day job, but I'm still doing film. I have films that have won awards, been in festivals and stuff. But at the end of the day, I still never quit my day job because right now that's not the structure I have. So I definitely love that you are pushing people to do both. And when you're ready to
absolutely,
jump out there, you'll be ready to jump out there and you'll know it because it'll come and it will be so overwhelming that you can't shake it. So I definitely
absolutely.
appreciate that because we don't have a lot of people that's preaching to, not saying you're preaching, but preaching to continue to build a safety net in the background while also investing. I think everybody's so quick to say, quit your job, be a starving artist, but I like to eat and I
Yeah,
can't starve.
can I get that one more time for the people in the back? Starving is not. I think that's what I help entrepreneurs with, Charity. The
Mm-hmm.
fact of that you don't have to be a starving artist. You need to be a strategic artist.
Mm.
There's a difference. And
Yeah.
when you're strategic, that means that you're planning accordingly. So
Yeah.
what I do with my mentees is that as I have an artist, there's two artists that are in my mentorship program, a visual artist as well as a artist who does songs. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that you can do if you successfully put in the effort. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's when we think that we have to starve to
Mm-hmm.
win, as opposed to we need to be strategic to win. That's
Yeah.
what,
I
so it's
definitely
being
agree.
yeah.
And I excuse me. And I think one of the things that sticks out too, like,
That's
and
a
we know in the
sibling.
literal sense, they're not saying be hungry and
All the
sitting on the
Texas
side of the road, but it's
from the
also
beeper.
that thought of you still got to be hungry, but the strategy comes with it because with think if we take the literal sense of hungry, you making a meal, you have to have a strategy to cook that meal. So you're starving, you hungry, you want what you want, but what are you doing to build that plate? So I love it. I really, really do. I definitely do. I know
Absolutely.
you have mentees. Did you have mentors before you were able to start this journey you're on now?
Absolutely. I've had a mentor for 20 years. I've had different mentors over the years as I grew from a mentor, and I've always had a mentor. I always had a coach.
Hmm.
I have two mentors and a coach. At the end of the day, growth, you only know what you know, and you
Hmm.
only can move within your circle of genius or within the information that you is within you. So how do you get more information? How do you get more knowledge of how to grow? How do you get more in tune with what's next? You have to talk to people outside of yourself. I want to be the
Yeah.
dumbest person in the room, so I always search out those places. I search out the places where I'm not at currently. So when I wanted to have $1 million in property, I was in rooms with people who had millions of dollars in property. Right now, I want to have multiple millions. So my mastermind that I'm a part of is only millionaires.
Hmm.
I want to be a person in the room who understands the concepts but has not done it yet. Because if I'm the smartest person in the room, that's my ceiling. I'm the ceiling.
Right.
So I think that a lot of times that we need to just sometimes step out of our comfort into our greatness, and that's what I do, and that's what I coach.
Hmm. Because I feel like, do you feel in your personal experience that when you're comfortable, you kind of are stagnant? You feel like, okay, I've done enough, when you know deep down inside it's a lot more that you can attain.
I totally agree with what you just said, Charity. I think that sometimes that we're happy that we made $50,000 a year. We're happy when we made six figures. We're happy when we did a small task, but we don't look at the long game. If six figures, if you quit your job of six figures, what do you have next?
Hmm.
What
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 did you
does
give back to
retirement
yourself?
what what does retirement really look like? Because I think that we wait until we're at an age of 40, 50s to now start thinking about retirement when we should be thinking about retirement in our 20s and 30s because that's when you have the most room to grow.
Hmm.
When you're in your 40s and 50s, you're at an accelerated pace because you're trying to retire quicker. As opposed to in your 20s, you can actually build a plan, be strategic, and figure out how to grow towards freedom.
That's true. And you're putting those nuggets that you could reach back into. And
Right.
then I think too, when you're younger, as you're growing, you're able to bring that community with you. And as you guys grow together, it almost creates a little community where then you could kind of pull other people in to make that empire, make it pop. And whatever industry, utilize each other to grow. So you're a speaker, you're an organizer, you're an event planner. Let's bring it together and create a tour. So
Correct.
I see the vision in that. And I think one of the things I'm liking, I've seen in a lot of curriculums, they're not teaching students to just go get a job. They are teaching the students to be entrepreneurs. And some of the kids I see now, they are just knowing, okay, if I make this amount working at Foot Locker or wherever I work, but I want to be a vlogger or whatever kind of more creative, they are putting their money into it. And you're seeing them buy, like if I'm at a Best Buy or something, I see them buying big purchases. And I'll just start to talk to them like, what are you doing? Oh, I have a business company. I have this and things like that. And they're already knowing to put back into themselves and build the community. I think we lack that a lot of times where they say it's a community thing, but they really don't want to reach back. And I think being that you're a
Mm,
mentor, you're reaching back and pulling up. And especially sometimes in my field, you don't see that a lot. So I think you have to kind of grow with your people. So when y'all both get put on, y'all both put on. I mean, look at Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler now. Michael B. Jordan was in
absolutely.
Ryan Coogler's first film. From there, every major film that Ryan has done, who's been the leading man? And from there, they won their first Oscars in the same night. If that's not full circle moment, I don't know what that is. So that I
Yeah,
think it goes for every industry that you're in. It definitely does.
absolutely. I totally agree with you there as well, Charity. It's the as I said, it goes to what are you building within your circle.
Hmm.
If you have a 2 hour meeting, and your meeting is all based upon a bunch of negativity, it means
Yep.
that you might need to take an opportunity to reevaluate your circle.
Hmm.
And when you reevaluate your circle, you make a determination if this circle is a circle that you really want to be in, and does it align with who you are,
Hmm.
or who you are destined, or who you are getting ready to be. Because sometimes you'll see yourself making those pivots of being someone new,
Hmm.
developing into the next level or the next version of you, and someone in your current doesn't see you moving forward, or sees you moving forward and doesn't understand what the level that you're reaching, that you're getting ready to attain, is going towards. So it's evaluating your circle, determining who, if the people in your circle are productively moving towards some goals. Doesn't have to be the same goals, but a goal. Or
Hmm.
are the people in your circle all complacent where they are? Because complacency can be bred, just like potential and growth is
Hmm.
established.
Yeah, I definitely seen evolution in a lot of my circles. It's the people that you're already doing good, you're great, you're this, you're that, and it's like I'm telling you, I want more. Either you gonna be with me or you're not. And the best example I just saw the other, literally, was it last night or today? It was showing a lemon that was molded, and they put another lemon right in the same jar, really close to it, and then it just gradually molded the whole jar of the lemons.
Yes.
And I mean, we've seen those examples a lot, but I think in this current moment in my transition of career and everything else, it really stuck out, like you just said. If you're negative, the negativity gonna rub on you, and it just becomes a cycle where if nobody reaches in and get you out that jar, it's toast. It's a wrap.
Yeah, you
So,
know what I mean. As I said, I had a very unproductive conversation recently, and that
mhm,
unproductive conversation has me thinking about what I need to do in the future. And
mhm,
to me, I'm always the person who assesses. I
mhm,
assess. I determine of, okay, is this is working? Will this continue to work, or is it going to be detrimental to what's next?
mhm.
Because if you're being strategic, back to what I was saying, and that's
Yep.
because I'm an intentional person.
Yes.
Everything I do is intentional. I intentionally did something to figure out what I need to do next.
Mhm.
And
You set yourself
sometimes
up.
I
Mhm.
set a stage to see how the stage would play out. But it goes to, when those things are happening, you have to be ready to pivot when necessary.
Mhm.
Because if you don't pivot when necessary, it makes you it puts you right back next to the rotten or lemon that's rotten, and now you are getting tarnished as well. So
Yep.
you have to make a clear decision sometimes. And guys, those decisions are not always the best feeling decisions, but I don't do things emotionally. I do things logically and strategically. I'm an intentional person. So if I'm not going to be emotional, I'm going to be strategic,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be logical. Then I assess that situation differently. I was just speaking on someone's podcast yesterday where I was made mention that emotions leak money.
Mhm. That's true.
Because
You too invested in the wrong way. Like
exactly,
you get to really caring for a person when you were just really supposed to just make some money with them or make some new
absolutely.
plans with them. So that leads me to ask, with the pivot and with figuring out how to have these connections and set those boundaries, um, what keeps you from getting too close? Because we've all had those working relationships where you may become friends with the person. How do you keep your boundaries in place in those situations, or when do you let your guard down and say, yes, maybe we can make it more of a friendship versus just business?
I'll say this: I am one of these people who I do I do business in a very friendly way. I'm an extremely friendly person. So
Hmm.
I like to get to know people, and especially people I'm doing business with, because I want to make sure that at the end of the day that they have an idea who I am, and I have an idea who they are. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot more friendly than most business people, but it's also lended me very well in my businesses, and in my also in my journey uh, of leadership, because I had the ability to have conversations with individuals from a standpoint of, in a friendly way. I get a lot more information. I
Yeah.
have a lot bigger, better understanding, and I'm able to make a better decision.
Yeah.
When someone is guarded, they're not going to tell you what you need to know really to determine if they are a person that you need in your circle or not.
Mm.
So I'll use it for instance. I in my corporate life, I walked when I had an interview. When I did interviews, I would walk around. I never sat at my desk and had an interview. I never took the person's resume with me when I did the walk. I would tour a facility with them. Now, this didn't matter what level I was in management. When I was a level one manager, when I was just a supervisor, when I was a RVP, when I was a VP, when I was a director. I mean, when I have had all those roles, I would
Right.
just walk. I would walk them. They would come in. The secretary would be like, your 9 o'clock is here. I was like, okay, great. Let's take a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Within a 20-minute walk, I knew all about their dreams, their aspirations,
Mm-hmm. Their
what
goals.
they their goals, and what they really wanted in a company. Why? Because their guards were down, because I wasn't typical. So
It
I'm one
didn't
of these
feel
people. It didn't feel stiff. It
stiff.
felt like they were talking to an old friend.
Right.
So I hired more people based upon their character than their resume.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had more success on character other than their resume.
Mm-hmm. Because that
So,
paper could be lying.
oh,
I've
the paper
seen it.
line, paper line. I know so many resume writers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Say this. Write this adjective. Like,
Oh
okay.
yeah. And I'll use, for instance, on my resume, I have like 3 jobs on my resume.
Mm-hmm.
On my LinkedIn, I have 5 companies I work for. I've worked for over 20 companies.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked in a multitude of positions that don't even show on my LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't intentional. It just doesn't matter.
It's not aligning to what you're doing now. And why
Correct.
present so much of the old when you know where you're trying to go now? I definitely
Okay,
get it.
come on, Charity. Come on, Charity. You are
Look,
picking up what I'm laying down, because it goes to, am I living in the past, or am I stepping into the new me?
yeah, yeah.
So the second I decided I was stepping forward. So this goes where you make that decision that your 9 to 5 has funded you in the 5 to 9, and you're
Mm-hmm.
now ready to step out on faith. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really not faith, because you betting on the one person who always wins. You.
Yourself. And you transition right into, because I was gonna say, so when did you know? Because hearing that you were in leadership, you were all when you're in leadership, you're mentoring, but you're not just managing whatever company, but you're also managing the people. So did you
Hmm.
ever find yourself, before you made your full jump, did you ever find yourself encouraging people, like, because you got to know them on a character walk versus just a what's on your paper interview? Did you ever find yourself encouraging people at your 9 to 5 to jump out there, or you were still trying to figure out your path?
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. Because I've never been a manager. I've been a leader always.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between leadership and management. I managed teams in my early part of my career, and I didn't like it. I
Yeah.
was telling people what to do, not explaining to them on how to think. I was telling them what to think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that type of person, so I wanted to make sure I stay true to me on teaching people how to think, how to grow, and how to develop. So
Mm-hmm.
I have talked more people out of working for a company than I've talked them into staying, because I'm a firm believer in you following your passion, following
Yeah.
your purpose, and sometimes leaving something behind that is just making ends meet for you, because you're working like you're just making the ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
I have told individuals that this might not be for you. Every job isn't for everybody.
Right.
Now all of that to a person means that you're terminated, but I always give a spin. This is the spin. Find what makes you feel alive,
Mhm.
because that's where you need to be.
Mhm.
Because this here does not make you feel alive, and
Mhm.
it shows in everything you do on an everyday basis.
I literally had a job I left because I was there 10 months and they were like, I just feel like you're not doing what you need to do. And I said, I don't feel fulfilled. This is not what I signed up for. Every
Hmm.
day I cringe going, and this was during the pandemic. I cringe going from my bed to my computer that was in right next to my bed. I should not be that mad about getting up and being in my room all day. I just could not do it. So I didn't take the leap of faith on myself at that time because I still wasn't there. So I said, you know what? Let me find something else. So when I jump out there, I'm still covered in a sense. And I went to another job. That job I was not fulfilled at all. And they read it to the point they was like, yeah, it's time to let you go. And after that, that's when I said, yeah, it's time for me to just focus on the film thing. But then the writer strike happened. So what happened next? I found another job where I'm at now, and I do enjoy it because I get to travel and see all of the things. But it just kept not being that time. And I know at some point I'm gonna have to just cut the cord and do it. But I definitely agree. If you're not fulfilled, it shows up how you carry yourself at work, your attitude,
Hmm.
what you're producing at work, how if you come into work at all, how much PTO you using. But I use my PTO. I don't let it go to waste. But at the same time, like you
I
just
know
don't
that's right,
show up.
Charity.
I'm not let I don't leave nothing on the see, especially where I'm at now. Where I'm at now, we don't get to carry anything over. So at my old job, if I knew I had a lot of trips for the next year, I would carry some stuff over. Now I use it up. I just need a random day. Thank you,
Mhm.
thank you, thank you. But
I
and
can
that's
hear you.
not enough people are doing that. And I use my PTO sometimes to go do my film stuff. Like you got to make it work for yourselves.
I mean, but as I said, it goes to the end of the day that we should be using the jobs as an investors. And if you use it as an investor, you find a job that you like enough to go there and give them 100%. You go there, you get a job that you can learn from, and and make those transferable skills to your 5 to 9, which is
Mhm.
what I've done. What I worked in operations for 25 years in the
Okay.
supply chain management. Supply chain, if for people who don't know, is how you get your stuff from anywhere across the world to your house. That's the supply chain, either by plane, train, automobile, truck, sea. I've been part of the supply chain in many faucets over the last 20 plus years. So I took those transferable skills into helping people create leadership plans, because different companies like the DHLs, the FedExes, the UPSs, the Life Fitnesses, those are companies I worked for. I
Mhm.
created systems, I created processes, I created SOPs, things that help our teams work better.
Correct. Yeah.
So those skills are transferable to how businesses run. Those fundamentals are how businesses become successful.
Mhm.
So that entrepreneurial spirit is this piece here. People become entrepreneurs before they become someone who ever had a job. Those are the entrepreneurs that fail quickest because they have never had the structure of a company. They don't
Mhm.
have an idea of how a company is built. They're
Mhm.
only book smart. Guys, I'm book smart as well. I just want to say that for the record.
Right.
I read about 104 books a year on specific subjects. I don't read random. I read only nonfiction and self-help. I am very big on I pick a specific topic, and I read it all year.
Mhm. I
That's
like
called
that.
mastery.
Yeah.
10,000 hours put into a subject makes you a master. So I put 10,000 hours plus a year in any subject that I'm learning.
Mhm.
So for me, it's taking those transferable skills of understanding how businesses are formed, understanding P&Ls. People
Mhm.
people right now in their businesses don't even know what a P&L are. If you don't know what a P&L is, it makes it very difficult for you to keep your books. Keeping your
Yeah.
books means that you're not paying your taxes. If you're not paying your taxes, that means your business is not structured properly. Guys, that
Mhm.
means your business is set up to fail.
Yep.
These are just small things. The first thing people do is say, I'm gonna get me an LLC. Okay.
How you
You
gonna
get an
maintain
LLC. What
it?
type of LLC? LLCs are, I mean, are you getting a partnership LLC? Are you getting an LLC that is going to go into a trust or a holding company? What type of, guys? it goes to an LLC can be used for several things, but an LLC does not give you an anonymity. You don't your identity is still known.
Right.
So, do you have a holding company that holds your trust? Is your trust so, guys? I can give you several techniques to become where no one even knows who owns anything. However, the whole point is that I learned a lot of those things from the corporations in which I worked with, and why they had
Mhm.
holding companies for their businesses. Why the CEO is not the owner of the company. Why the president, I mean, those different roles, those titles, what they're responsible for. But when people just give people titles, oh, you're president of the company. You have
It's really having an understanding about how to really grow a business, and that's what I work with entrepreneurs, people who are just starting out, people who have a gift and they want to turn it to profit. That is what I do, and I consider myself a strategist because I make very complex situations very simple, digestible, and easy to use, so you can grow yourself to become the person that you are destined to be.
To be. I like that. So, from the skills that you taught people and you've attained over the years, what were the top 3 things that you had in place before you decided to leave
I
your
can't hear you,
leadership?
Charity.
You can't hear me?
I don't know. You ran away on me.
Can you hold on. Can you hear me now?
Nope.
No. Hmm. I'm gonna leave stage and come back. Can you hear me now? You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm like, hold on, wait. What happened? Technical difficulties. But no, I was asking like what were the
hey,
3, huh?
what would I don't know? Go ahead. My apologies. Go ahead.
Oh,
What were you
no,
saying?
I was saying what were the 3 things that when you made your transition that you held on to get to where you are now?
Everything. It wasn't just three things. Everything. So the
Mhm.
first thing I kept was how to actually create processes. Why? What was so important about having an SOP and understanding a business structure. The second thing that I took with me is how to actually lead people,
Mhm.
because that's important. It's important in leading people as well as leading yourself. The third thing is leading myself. Always holding myself to a high standard, a high level of integrity, being the person I say I am, and being the change I want to see in the world. So I always show up in that fashion. And when things are happening that might impede my integrity,
Mhm.
impede my character, those things are the quickest way for me not to talk to you or not to deal with you, because
Right.
my integrity and my character are what I've built over the 50 years of my life.
Mhm.
I am known for being a person who shows up and shows out. I'm
Mhm.
known for being a person of high level integrity, and I'm known for having a character that's unimpeachable. So when those things are ever in question, I'm going to have a conversation about those things. So those are things that I took away from the workforce, because my character, I'm not one of these people who, I'll say it this way, Charity, that we're going to have this conversation. Oh man, what you say about me? We're not doing that. that means
Right.
that that means I don't know how to be a leader.
Right.
But it's knowing how to just address a situation and have high levels of EQ. That's emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And understanding another person might not be on the same level you are, and you must have a conversation where both of you guys are seeing eye to eye.
Mhm.
To me, every conversation must be a win-win. You got to win, I got to win, whether that is us parting ways or us continuing in business. Because sometimes parting ways is still us both winning.
Yeah. Because y'all could have started holding each other back just from the clashing and you focus so much on the drama that you don't evolve from there. So I definitely agree
Absolutely.
with that. So I did want to kind of ask some questions
Ask
from
away.
your book Freedom Has a GPS. You've told us how strategic you are and just all of the steps that you've taken over your career and your transitions and being able to pivot. And as we know with GPS, they like to give us a destination and then give us an alternate route. So what what was some outside of just business? What made you name the book Freedom Has GPS? Is sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Let me get it right. Freedom has GPS. Set your destination to success. What was the
So
inspiration behind that title?
that question, I love the question. So freedom has GPS is really about the reason why I set the title as freedom has GPS is because we are in a perpetual cycle sometimes of working and
Mm,
thinking that making more money is freedom. When
mm,
freedom really is peace, love, family, having an opportunity to live a life that you will want to live, setting up a path. So freedom is different for everyone. So in the book itself, it walks you down a pathway of finding your definition of freedom. So it gives
mm.
you the steps to understand what freedom looks like for you. Then it has duality because the other half is about finding your financial freedom and growing and generating and building a legacy. So the book Freedom has GPS because how you get to where you want to go, you put in your map where you want to be, and then you move
Yeah.
that way. So GPS is all about getting clear. G stands for getting clear.
Okay.
P stands for protect your plan. S stands for stay the course because you have to get clear with what you want. Protecting the plan is you protecting your boundaries, protecting your peace, protecting the things in which that are mean most to you. And staying the course is really about staying in alignment long enough for what you're looking for to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what GPS actually stands for with the book. Set your destination to success means you are setting the destination with the criteria that shows you in the book on how to set that map up. So
Mm-hmm.
it gives you the coordinates for you to set your GPS.
I love it. And just to play on with the technology, it's something that we all use on a day-to-day basis. You may go somewhere every day, you're gonna put that GPS in, not necessarily to get there, but just to see what things are in your path during that ride. And then with that,
Absolutely.
sometimes it allows you to pivot. It's a lot of times I live in Atlanta, we know traffic is crazy. That's the fact that we have in that city. But I can go somewhere every day. I might just put it in just to see how long is it going to take this time. What is the loopholes?
Oh,
Where's
mhm.
the stops? Where's the police? Where the car accidents? Because that allows me to pivot. It allows me to
Absolutely.
pivot. It allows me to find another destination. It's not keeping me from where I'm going, but it's allowing me to maneuver and get there maybe at a quicker time or maybe take a little bit longer. And I definitely align with that a lot because I've had times where I had a job, the one that actually I left because I wasn't fulfilled. It was so funny. They had me to speak to some college students looking to start their career, and they just picked people from different departments. And in my head, I'm like, I don't even want to be here, but I'll go talk so I don't have to do work. So I went, and some of the people were like, isn't that funny? They were like, oh, what got you into this? And I said, honestly, my long road is to be a film director full time. I'm here because I did go to school, and with my degree, I was able to learn skills that helped me to work here, but I did not let that just limit me in my mind. Like, I only am doing this, I'm only am doing this, I'm only doing this. Because if I would have stuck to just, I only came here to do this, I wouldn't have had so many of the opportunities I've had in my 9 to 5 career, because never in my life I thought I was going to even have an office job. Never in my life had I ever thought I would get to travel for work. And by me not just focusing on one thing, but allowing myself to try things, I've had a pretty lit 10 years these past 10 years in my corporate career. And I told some of the students, she kind of put one of the girls pulled me to the side and she was like, thank you for that. She said, I know what I want to do. I can't just come out of college and go straight into it. But me being able to try different things, I think I'm more inspired to graduate and just do stuff and not lose sight of the ultimate goal. Again, I work my 9 to 5, but every day I'm like, okay, what can I do to be creative? What can I do to make the next project? What film can I get on? People asking for people to be PAs. I'll do it. I just want to be on set. I had a meeting with my production designer for my film coming up, and he was like, I just feel alive on set. And I said, honestly, I feel the same, but I can't do it every day. So the moments I get on set, I cherish it and I go hard on it because I know I need that project to pop. So my career could take that turn. So I definitely
I know
love
that's right, Charity.
that. Y'all gonna see me in these Hollywood Hills one day. Let me flip my hair. But I definitely
Come on
I
with it, Charity.
definitely agree with the GPS because you never are going to go one. Nothing is a straight path, especially
Exactly.
in career. You're gonna be up, down, all around, back roads. The back roads sometimes are the better roads because you're gonna get to see stuff you never would have seen if you took that straight and narrow path. And I'm not saying get out here and be on some wild craziness, but if you got to do a little wild craziness for your story, that's your story.
Yeah, but think about this. As you were saying, everyone. So when you're looking at GPS and you see the roadblocks, and you reroute yourself and go a different way, GPS always says rerouting. It's
Mm-hmm.
always so just because there's a roadblock doesn't mean you stop. It means you go around. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that we need to do in our everyday life. So the reason why, as I said, why I picked GPS, because it reminds you that no matter where what takes place, you're still trying to get someplace.
Yep.
And if you don't set the destination to where you want to go, you're just aimlessly wandering. Do you remember when your friends first got a car, Charity, or when you got your first car,
Mm-hmm.
and how you used to just sit in the back and y'all would ride around the block to let everybody know you were in the car?
Go here. Roll the
Yeah,
window
yeah.
down.
Roll the window down. You ain't going nowhere. Y'all got no plans to go nowhere. You just want to be seen. Some
Mm-hmm.
people live their whole lives that way.
Mm-hmm.
They're just aimlessly walking, aimlessly driving, aimlessly getting on. But they all want to be somewhere. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have a goal or if you have the life that you're looking for, let's get aligned. Let's get a path. Let's get clear. That's
Mm-hmm.
why the first part is getting clear. That's why the first part of being a CEO is having clarity, because
Yep.
you can't have anything, go anywhere, do anything of significance without being clear about what it is you want.
Mm-hmm. You gotta wash your windshield. If GPS in the car, wash the windshield. Like,
Mhm.
because when I got my car, I went straight to the car wash. Like, I
I go to car
didn't.
wash every day, Charity, so I can't say nothing.
Oh,
I wash my car
no.
every single. I have a unlimited pass. I go to the car wash every day. My friends they crack jokes. They say, "Are you at the car wash?" I sure am. I go every day. I wash the inside and the outside of my car out every day.
Oh, let's trade.
I hate garbage. I hate junk. I hate it's a thing for me. So certain things for me, I don't like things to be cluttered, and that's along
Mm,
with my mind.
yeah.
My mind, my surroundings, my life. My life is very structured. I plan 99% of the things,
Mhm.
except my fun. I just have fun. I'm
I
living
feel
my
like
best life every day. I laugh every day. My wife and I, we joke every day.
you have to. If you're not smiling, I feel sorry for you. Even
Yeah,
what's
amen.
crazy, a lot of times people don't even know I'm in a state of whatever because I'm still, hey, how's everybody? And I know that's not always good, but at the same time, like I'm like that limit. I'm not going to just feed you what I got going on if you don't need to know. You know, if you don't need it, I'm not going to give it to you. Now, you have your friends and your people that you go to as your confidant or whatever. That's a different story, but I'm not about to just dump it on you and dump it on you. But definitely, let's switch cars. Whenever you come to Atlanta, my car is not really big, but if you want to trade, take me to the car wash.
hey, hey, I believe me, Chad. If I get in it, I'm taking it to the car wash. I'm gonna get it vacuumed out because I don't want the stuff on me.
Uh
Yeah. How about this? I had tea yesterday. I
huh.
had I had hibiscus tea with green tea and some it's this stuff called breathe tea because I had a slight cold
Hmm.
and some of it spilled in my car. It's not there now. I was sitting here all day like, man, I can't wait till I get to the car wash. but I mean, but it goes to I'm like that in everything in my life.
Hmm.
So I'm like that with my business, my relationships, my friendships. I
Hmm.
pay a close attention. Like I have a friend who's been my friend for 30 something years. I have two of those friends. And we both sets of us, we talk differently. They're not
Hmm.
friends, but they're my friend. So
Right.
we have conversations sparingly. One of us talk like once a month, one of us talk every other day.
Hmm.
But one of them I talk to because they're crazy and they keep me laughing. So
Yeah.
even though life is extremely serious, I still want to always be enjoying it. I want to enjoy the good, the bad, the indifferent, because that life is what make those trials make they what makes you remember of the good
Hmm.
times. And
Yeah.
when you get through them, it reminds you that I'm 100% survivor yesterday.
Yep.
Go me,
Yep.
go me.
Look, we wake up, we have another day to do it again and make it
Absolutely.
better. I definitely, and I think everything that we discussed aligns. I'm kind of looking at the parts of your Freedom Has GPS book.
Mm,
Part one,
mm.
get clear, wash those windows, get the destination, see it, plug it in the right thing, protecting the plan. And it's funny in that first chapter within part two is family and laughter. Laughter. So I think that is it's so funny. You just have to laugh every day, and then there it is. And
I
then
have
part
to.
three, stay the course. And I think a lot of people fall off when it comes to staying the course because they're not seeing the instant gratification of having whatever
Absolutely.
it is that they want. And I'm like, imagine if we stopped in the middle of the street, we never would have made it to dinner at that fancy restaurant. If we
Say
if
that again, Charity.
we not
Say it
gonna make it
again.
to the fancy restaurant, I got dressed up for nothing. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
hey, and that's a no. I got a whole wife. If she got dressed up for nothing, I'm gonna hear about that for the next month.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
No.
I support that. and then
Absolutely, as
and
you
then
should.
man, because look, it take a lot to get dressed. What Beyonce say? I spent all day getting ready, and you done messed up my outfit, or whatever she said in that
Uh,
one song. But like, and then the last thing that I saw, just kind of browsing through some of the things that was sent to me, is the three defining questions. And I think, what do you actually want? What do you want out of life? Like nobody can tell you what you want. What do you want? Who do I choose to be? Again, who are you evolving to? And
mhm.
sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. But at the end of the day, people gonna believe it because you're putting it out, putting it out, putting it out. And then
And then
what
you're
will my
telling
legacy
yourself that
say?
you're giving yourself the instructions. So
Mm,
a lot of times people hear the word fake it till they make it. If I'm giving myself instructions every day, think about this. You're giving yourself instructions every day that you are great. You're giving yourself instructions every day that you are a millionaire. Every day you're giving yourself those instructions and you are living your life towards that. What ends
mm-hmm.
up happening to that person? They
You
become
get it.
exactly because think about this. Every day you tell yourself you're not good enough. Every day you tell yourself that you're a failure. What
Mm-hmm.
happens that same day? What happens though? What happens over time? You are not good enough and you are
Everything
constantly
happens
failing.
wrong. Everything
So,
happens wrong.
but
Yeah.
everything happens for what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Everything happens for what you think of. The things that you spend the most time thinking of are what you become.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
why not
true.
think of the thing? Why not think of the things that you really want out of life? Why not move forward towards the things you really want out of life?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be $1 million liquid. There's a difference in being a millionaire and being a millionaire in liquid. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a millionaire liquid. So I treat myself like the millionaire who wants to be liquid, which means I watch my money. I watch where I spend my time because
Mm-hmm.
time leaks money. I watch who I spend my time with because my associations of people who are not productive will leak money. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm watching those things so closely, that means I'm already thinking and being a liquid millionaire.
I
So
love it.
what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be a
You
liquid
drop
millionaire.
gems like yeah, like if nobody else is trying to do what I'm trying to do, you gotta move over. We could be cool from a distance, but that's it. Well, bro, why would you do that? You reminded me. Have you seen the meme when the dude go like this and then he fade out? That was like, all
That's
right,
me. That's me. That's me.
I'm
That's
out.
me.
And
That's
then the
me.
third point that I like, what is my legacy or what does it stand for when the noise fades? That's the biggest thing. Think about all of the greats that whatever industry or whatever you remember them from, their star power has kind of faded, but you still remember them because of their legacy. And I think about that all the time. Like I never want somebody to be like, I met Charity. She was a mean B word, or I met Charity and she da 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 da. Da. I always want people to know that they met me and I left a good impression. They met me and I worked hard on whatever I was working on. They met me or they saw my work and it spoke for itself. I think that's a really big key point because a lot of times you are doing all this stuff, but nobody's gonna remember you because you weren't putting in the right work. If I would
Oh,
say that.
I do understand where you're coming from. And for me, about building a legacy, me building a legacy starts with this: that every single person that meets me has to leave better than they came.
Yes.
So that is, to me, that is what I always aim for. So, which means that I'm always going to be positive. I'm always going to try to leave a gem with them. I'm always going to try to work with them on where they are, not where I want them to be.
Mhm.
And so that means anybody who talks to me in any shape, form, or fashion. Now I'm going to ask you a question, Chair. I'm going to ask you a question.
Ooh.
When we first had our conversation, did you feel like that I left a good, not a just a good impression? Did I leave better than I came in our 30-minute conversation? And you can be transparent with me. It's okay. Y'all all hearing this live. She didn't know I was going to ask a
It
question.
was your birthday, so I hope I made you feel good on your birthday. Happy
You did.
birthday. And you know what I thought about? Sidebar, it was your birthday and we talked about Savannah. You definitely have to go to Savannah on your birthday because Savannah do it big on St. Patrick's Day. That's the
Okay.
sidebar. But I think I did leave a good impression or left you feeling better because we talked about all the good food you could get when you go down south and just kind of being optimistic on our conversation that we're having today. And also, to me, I feel like it's always good to meet not a good person, meet a new person that's trying to do something to elevate themselves. Because sometimes it may not be what you do or what you like, but they're trying to do something to make themselves better. So I feel like I left a good impression.
Absolutely. Because I put in my phone, it says Charity, call when I'm in Savannah.
Yep. See, I'm the Savannah plug.
So I mean, and that's what it says in my phone. Because I mean, but it goes this way: that if the conversations that we're having don't always leave an impression of something good, then I
Mm-hmm.
wasted time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go on podcasts, when I have a phone conversation, when I have a text conversation, I want to leave someone better than I came
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah. Because you might have those conversations with people and it might get a little spicy. And I can always tell when it's somebody that I have a genuine care about because when I feel bad after it, I'd be like, ooh, okay, let me figure out how to get this back together because I don't need this relationship to not. But then, when you've had that's it, we at the top, at the plateau, this might be it. And if it come back together, maybe it's meant to be. If not, dissipate into the air. Yeah. That's the cover. But I don't want to hold you because I know you getting ready for your big birthday weekend.
Yeah,
But I
but
just want to say,
I got a mastermind at 7 o'clock, so I got to get ready for my mentees. But it was a pleasure talking with you, Charity. Again,
yes,
we got to do this again sometime
yes,
soon.
we do. And tell
So
everybody before you leave, where can they find you? Where can they buy your book? Where all of the things.
so I will say this: you can find me on any social media platform at Rachel L. Gary. However, if you're looking to buy a book, want to know more about my courses, want to know about my upcoming, I'm having a complimentary workshop next Tuesday, the next Wednesday, we're having a complimentary workshop called Marry Your Business by Falling in Love with You. And this compliment, we're going to talk about the 4 pillars of self. This is going to be hot, spicy, but productive for growth in your business. You got to get ready. You have to stay ready, so you have to get ready. But you can find me, find all that information on www.sayiampossible.com. One more time, say it with me: www.sayiampossible.com. And that's where you can find all that information. You can go to workshops to get locked into the workshop that is coming up, that is complimentary, because we try to make sure that when you talk about growing your business, that you fall in love with you first.
I love it. Thank you. I really appreciate the conversation today. Everybody,
Absolutely.
I know you're going to watch this later on Charity in Motion on YouTube, but make sure you are following Rachel everywhere on our platforms. Visit the website. I will drop the links in the description for you guys to find it. And also, you know where to find me, Charity, the Real Jubilee, on Instagram. Follow me here, subscribe to Charity in Motion on YouTube. Vlogs are coming soon. Some shorts are coming soon. I've been burnt out. I think I'm about to do a burnout video, but I cannot wait to talk to my lovely soon. Thank you again, Rachel. Have a great day.
And you as well. And see, I got one thing for you CEOs out there. Stay focused on your growth. And until y'all see me elsewhere, I want y'all to be up, out, and moving. So the greatness we all know lies within who? You.
Yes, I love it.